Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to be talking about Dying Light 2 Wildcard factions. Now, as you guys know, we've been waiting for a Dying Light 2 info for quite a long time, and we haven't really got any info on that. Developers haven't really posted anything, so I've been here sitting just like you guys, waiting for info. And recently, there have been actually two different articles that came out on the internet, and I looked up, and it was actually talking about Dying Light 2 Wildcard factions. So I was like, that's an interesting topic. I haven't covered that in my video, so I should probably make a video talking about these factions and what kind of impact they actually have in the game. So we're going to be talking about these factions today, and some of the information here are something that I've actually given before, but some of them are something that I haven't. So it's like a mix, you know. You might already know about some of these, but some of these are new. So let's start with this. The first thing the article says that every group in this open world actually has its own means of survival. So, you know, all these different factions, they have a different thinking, a different kind of perspective towards the survival. You know, a world which sees bandits and thieves becoming a big threat during the day, and during the night, it's the zombies. I mean, we already know about it. During the daytime, you actually come across a lot of bandits and thieves, and during the night, it's mostly like zombie action. We already knew about this one because, you know, during the night, you won't really see a lot of people roaming around outside. So it's mostly just zombies you gotta deal with during the night. So that's something we already knew. The next thing the article says here is that of the wildcard factions being introduced in Dying Light 2, the Peacekeepers appears to be the most powerful group. Now, I've talked about this before. The Peacekeepers are kind of like the cops, you know, without a gun, actually. These guys are someone who likes to keep, you know, peace and, you know, rules and regulations in the society. So in the whole city, if you side with them, they are actually the strongest people. So they are the one who actually show you more zombie action. So if you're going to team up with Peacekeepers, you're going to go around actually killing a lot of zombies. So, you know, if you want more zombie action, go for the Peacekeepers. They are your choice, you know, if you want to make this choice. And they actually have a lot of rules and regulation. You have already seen that in the trailer and the gameplay. They actually have a big chart saying, you know, what happens when you actually steal stuff. We knew about it. Now the next thing that says, with other factions having their own agendas with how to use the city limited resources to their advantage. Now we know the city limited resources can vary. So they are here talking about the abandoned buildings, the abandoned locations, military resources, food, and other resources. And they're talking about everything here. So every faction will use these resources to their own advantage. Starting from the first example here is that we actually saw two different factions fighting over a specific location. Now, we actually had a picture tweeted to us a long time ago, and I actually shared that in my community section. That picture was showing that the Peacekeepers actually order you to go and take that abandoned place, which was a swimming pool. So they want you to take that abandoned area. So if you get that swimming pool, you can create a training room there. They wanted to create a training ground. You know, that's something Peacekeepers wanted. But if you go and try to get that place, you will come across another faction that will be scavengers. Now, these guys actually want that place as well. They actually want to grow plants there so they can create more fuel for the vehicles. Yes, you have vehicles in the game. So if you're going to side with the scavengers there, you will come across a lot of development in the area. So, you know, if I'm going to go and I'm going to side with the Peacekeepers, and I'm going to go and try to take that swimming pool, where I come across these scavengers and they're like, well, we give you this offer and now bullshit. And I'm like, okay, I like it. And I'm going to team up with the scavengers. I'm going to be an enemy to the Peacekeepers now. And the scavengers are actually going to take that place, and they're going to give you a crafting station that will help you create fuel for the vehicle that these guys will give you later on in the story. So Peacekeepers, zombie action, scavengers kind of more roaming around in the city, and also the vehicle part, you know, you can drive around in the city. So yeah, you have vehicles in the game. You have a lot of place where you can actually drive this car, and, you know, that's pretty good actually. That's something that wasn't present in the first game, so that's interesting. They have added that in the Dying Light 2 from the beginning itself. Now, according to Smectala, the lead designer at Techland, every faction is described as having their own approach to survival. The Peacekeepers here simply want to destroy the infected. They want to just get rid of the infected. Told you about that previously. Now they want to actually get rid of the infected and want to take control over the city. We know about it. The scavengers, on the other hand, they don't care about killing the zombies. All they care about is how they can live amongst them. Kind of like, you know, we don't care about the zombies. we care about us, so we're gonna be, we're gonna try to protect ourselves. We don't care about the zombies outside. So they will build up shelters and everything. They will actually do development in that city. So if you see a broken bridge, for example, this will be repaired by these guys. These guys are the one who actually repair it, and you can use your vehicle to go from one place to another. Amazing, right? So these are scavengers. But so far we have only talked about two different factions. One is the Peacekeeper and the other is Scavengers. What about the other factions? Well, according to Timon McTalla, there are other factions as well. They're actually untitled, but they like to call it the Wildcards for now. They will be actually naming them later on. But these are small groups. Now, these are not just one or two groups, but there are actually a lot of groups, but they are small, in small numbers. These wildcard people show up in the middle of story from anywhere. You never know. It's actually random. They can show up anytime in the game. When they show up, you choose to side with them or you don't choose to side with them. Well, depending on your choice, these small group of people can actually have a really, really big impact on your game. So, they have an impact, but this is like a temporary impact, but they actually affect your story in a really big way. So you can't ignore the small groups of people, the wildcard factions. Now you can't ignore these people because some of the factions here, the small group of factions, actually create drugs. They will also be fighting for that particular swimming pool, and they want that place so they can make up drugs. Now drugs are here used for a lot of things. The drugs can actually be used for healings, the other abilities to give you super strength and other stuff. Now I've talked about this previously as well. The drugs are kind of like, the potions you get in Dying Light. Come on, it sounds more like digestion potion, but in the first game, only you have that potion. Whereas in Dying Light 2, you're going to have a lot of different potions that give you a lot of different abilities, but this thing is available in public. Means anyone in that city, I'm talking about the bandits and every other factions, they also have access to this. So if you're going to side with them and you're going to get this all these drugs and everything, well, remember, if you're going to use the super strength, expect someone using the same thing in front of you. So, people are going to have that stuff available. That's a public thing. You're not the special one who gets that. That's one thing to mention here. The other thing that was said in the article is that one question that was asked to Timon McTalla, this is an interesting question actually. The question was, how will these choices actually impact the plans for the DLCs, which is interesting. If you're going to give people the ability to make choices, and the choices actually have consequences in the game, well, what's going to happen in the next DLC? It's like the following, you gave people two different choices, but then you don't know what the next part is going to be. Obviously, we know the following was kind of like, meh, shit, not related to the story at all. But the point here is that if you're going to give people a lot of different endings, a lot of different choices, how will that impact the DLCs? Well, Timon actually didn't answer this question. He was quiet about it. But, it's a really interesting question. It's something you need to look after, because giving people so many choices can affect a lot of things in the later DLC. But at the end of the day, it's their story. They probably already have it ready. So Timon actually said a point in this. He didn't actually stay quiet. He actually mentioned saying, as I said, you'll probably find even more places to drive them as we support the game in the after release. So according to Timon McTalla, in the future DLCs, you will be getting kind of like an expansion, just like the following, where you got a big place, the countryside, to drive the buggy. So probably in the DLC, you will find more places, more huge places to drive the vehicles properly, or I would say kind of more easily, like a free roam thing. So this is an interesting info that was given by Timon McTalla. And at the end of this article, the only thing that was mentioned was that wildcard factions will only pop up in certain areas and aren't quite as developed as the other groups, but as described above, they can have a major lasting impact on your game. In other news, McTalla confirms vehicles will be in Dying Light 2. That's something I already told you guys. So let me know in the comment section what you guys think about it. I'm waiting for Techland to come up with something new. I want to see what zombies look like. I'm more interested in the zombie part. I know the human part is interesting. You have choices and everything. I'm really excited for that. We've seen the trailer, we've seen the gameplay, but I want to see how the zombies look like. I'm really interested, because it's a zombie game at the end of the day. So, I want to see what the zombies look like. What are the new abilities? Because we know some of the old zombies do show up in Dying Light 2. It's just, I want to see what are the new zombies Techland has created for Dying Light 2. So guys, let me know in the comment section what you guys think about it, and I'm going to see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye.